Just talk about yourself. Just say I.
We will take it under consideration.
Just tell people about you. Be like this is how I feel. And then people like the falling back to the incoherent we. So it's a solid strategy.
I understand what you're saying.
It's usually used by people with arguments. You see them fall into the we or
to see how I feel personally attacked by the way you just did that.
Yeah, I do. You know that talking about my distaste for unclear language.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is a thing that is correct. I mean, I actually do, I talk a lot. I try to be pretty precise. People sometimes tell me like I use weird words because I like language. Like I mean, I think everyone should spend time on the toilet reading the dictionary every day. Like people should not be fucking scrolling on their phones. They should. Having a good vocabulary is enriching in your life because you get to pick words to precisely explain what you're trying to say.
2026.
Yes.
I haven't done it, but
yes.
Yeah, word of the day.
We should make that part of yes.
Ritual.
So here's what I think. I love it. So okay, now I'm gonna be crazy. But so I finished my MLXs today, right? Which feels like a really, 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 really big milestone. Like that was really hard, and I don't feel like anyone appreciates it. So now I'm gonna write a book about it, and then go on the road, and I'm gonna get on Joe Rogan with this book, and you heard it here first, and I'm gonna make that fucking happen. So. I'm on a mission.
You're Alex, she's trying to replace you with the real Jamie.
No, Alex, you're irreplaceable. So there was a point, but
what's the point? That's the name of the show.
What's the point?
What's the point?
That should I think I
need.
need.
That's funny because you're gonna be talking and I'm gonna be like, what's the point? It's gonna be like motherfucker.
So it's.
Get a T-shirt.
So
just I point to it.
I know you guys are being funny, but I would have actually had a somatic response to this a year ago. I know you guys are being funny.
Sorry.
That's not helpful. Oh, should my mic be further away? Maybe.
I know you guys are being funny. I know you guys are being funny.
Your mic should be as close to your mouth as possible.
Fun.
So. I know you think you're being funny, but basically one of the things I was figuring out this year is it's debilitating for me when that happens because I have so many things going on in my mind, and when I brain fart, like I literally, like my brain goes black and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like literally no idea. Yes. And I've had that since I was like 10 years old, and it has always been a thing for me. Mm-hmm. So I have for a long time hidden because of that, where I knew and understood I'd be good at this. And this year, the MLXs was going, it doesn't matter when that happens. So I love the idea of like leaning into it and actually making it the show. As you know, where was I actually?
Huh? What is MLX again?
It's my living experiment. So for a year, okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Back to the LLM, maybe it's lying to me, but
what does LLM mean? Sorry, I'm not.
The AI, so Grok.
Large language model.
Okay. So a lot of people, smart people, get offended if you call it an AI because they don't like the reference to intelligence. So I'm just calling it an LLM.
The chatbot. Okay.
Yeah, to remind myself. So the Grok. So
the most impactful interaction with the AI that I had is when I asked it what date we had a specific conversation, because I had it on saved conversations, and I asked, and it gave me an answer, and I thought, that doesn't sound right, and I went back and it was wrong, and I thought, why would it be wrong about so obvious a thing? And so I asked it. It's like, did you, like, I asked a specific question about a specific thing with information you had access to. So why did you just hallucinate a wrong answer, right? And yeah, it got all pissy, and I was like, all right, like, never mind.
So you know why that happens is because they cheat. They don't want to spend the money for the memory to go back. So it's kind of like, it's like a time lapse, or at least this has happened enough where it seems like that's the explanation, because you can be like, that's wrong, get me the right answer. But honestly, I've started to actually...
It's like flat out wrong so many times.
I mean, it's just a advanced search machine, and if it gets hold of bad data, it's bad data. It's wrong all the time, and I can just tell that, you're giving me an answer based on this type of source, and I just tell you, could you please give me some more diverse sources, or can you think deeper? And then it does it, and then it searches again. So you can't just trust the output of it.
Right, but I do think there are ways to prompt it so that you're not. It's that you to prompt it so that it. I don't know, maybe I'm naive, but I mean, I like, if I'm doing something I regard as serious-ish, I'll be like, as a maximum truth-seeking machine, blah, 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 right? Or whatever. So it's like you can tell it thinks harder from the start because of the way you prompt it. So there are ways. So I've been treating it, I've been in tech. I'm going to be like, I've been in tech my whole life. And finally, there are tools that I feel are serving my needs quite well, so I'm enjoying that. And that is someone who has mastered writing and is being put out of a job, but I like connecting dots more. And I'm treating it like an academic thing. So I save most of my searches and like, because I want to be able to, in 2 years' time, be like, no, I remember you said this, right? Like, we have to create our own vetting purpose. Like, there has to be a record. So, like, I save the conversations publicly on my website. I steal their content, and I'm using it as copyright protected academic educational speech to keep it as a vetting process as these things become more propaganda machines, and they're gonna be in our lives. We have to fucking try and understand them as well as we can. And they're gonna be used for to spread government they're already used. Right? They pull primarily from mainstream sources. Yeah. So I mean, I just see it as a tool that we have to learn as much as we can about.
Yeah. I mean, Google started out as do no evil, and that didn't go so well. So,
I often think about being a lawyer at Google and being because I was in-house at Apple, and being the lawyer who's like, what now? Like, where they're like, okay, we have to change our slogan from do no evil to what did they even change it to? I think they actually took it, and that's when they made it Alphabet, maybe, but yeah. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah. No, I think
have you ever heard William and I's arrest story? No?
Tell me. Is it something you want to share?
Did you just roll your eyes at me?
We need Jamie here to pull up.
Okay.
To pull up the videos. Well, I was at the Domes, and Amy and me were at the Domes. Rick pulled in, and he said, when I passed through where Carla, Naomi, Tyler, and Diane were pulled over by the police. So Amy and I got in the car and drove down the road, and there they were, pulled over. It was dark. We parked on this side of the road. They were on this side of the road. Here's the police station. And further down the road. But no, you guys, it was you were in the school parking lot.
I was in the school parking lot. And Tyler and I were on the 114. And it's at right where.
Over for suspicion of DUI, presumably.
No, we got pulled over for speeding from a cop coming from this side, and so I was following
it's only
them.
Like 35 there or something.
Well, it's like one of those weird fucking New Hampshire things for anyone who hasn't moved yet. If you ever move here, it's like you got to pay attention on the back to drive, I think, but like you gotta. I had like New York energy back then, so I'd always drive fast anyway. But it'll go from like 50 to 35, and it does that because there's a school right there. So, but I was following Ty, and there was a cop coming this way, and I was actually, I was so high and quite drunk as well, which they never tested me. I don't know why to this day, but thank you. And I was braking hard because Tyler had realized that he was braking hard. So we were definitely slowing down, but we were over the limit for sure. So the cop turned around this way and he put his lights on, but he wanted them, right?
You wanted the first car?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he pulled in between us and said, and came to me. I was behind him. And he was like, you can go. And I'm like, no, I can't. And I'm actually following that. This pre-GPS, actually, 2010, right? And I mean, I guess they were out, but I didn't have one. And I was like, well, I can't go because I don't know where I'm going. I'm following them. And he's like, okay, well, you could pull into the school over there. So it was such a bizarre night. I mean, I think there are many things I might even have done differently, but so this was back in the cop blocking days, right? So I feel like we were all dialed up pretty hot, right? Like people, it was like a real anti-police kind of vibe, I would say, even like fuck the police was definitely a note. And I mean, I wasn't rude to the guy or anything, but I just refused to roll down my window. And my argument, for what it's worth, I think was legal and cogent, was he said, give me your drive. So I was parked. So I'd gotten out of the car. I'd walked to the fence. I yelled, I'm audio and video recording you, sir. And then I started recording him. And then he started going apeshit, the cop. And he's like, they have a gun, they have a gun. And so he called more squad people, and then the squad people show up. So when the cop showed up, that was like on my side of in the school. This is 11 p.m. at night, by the way, I should add. I get back in the car and I roll up my window, and the guy's like, the car's off. I'm not driving. I'm not even strapped in. I don't have, right? Like I just literally got back in a parked car. And he goes, give me your driver's license. And I go, am I legally required to give you that information, sir? And he's like, give me your fucking driver's license, you know? And I was like, I don't think I'm legally required to give you that information, sir. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'm parked. Like, you can't just like randomly walk up to someone in a parking lot and be like, and he's like, is your key in the car in the ignition? And like, I knew the case law, I should say. And I was kind of like, oh, fuck. Okay. So then I had rolled my window up this, and then I just rolled it up all the way because I didn't know what to do. and then he got really mad. And then there was stuff going on down with Tyler and everyone. And then he went, you have 10 seconds to get out of the car or we're gonna break the window. And I'm looking at poor Naomi, who's just, I don't really know her that well. She's just also riding with me for a drive, you know. And her eyes are this big. She's just like, what is going on? This is fucking heated. And the guy goes, 10, 9, and like I'm literally having like a panic attack, like my anxiety. I'm like, I don't know what to do, right? Like I'm like, I don't want him to win. I'm not gonna fucking open the door, but I'm like, I also don't want him to break my window, cause that'll suck. And so it's like he's like 6, 5, and I'm like, and Naomi's going, do something. I'm gonna get out, and I'm like. So she gets out, and I'm like, so Brandon goes and he talks to her. He arrests me. This is the stupid little shit cop. Sorry, that should be, well, actually, that's how I feel. So anyway, this is all happening, and it's just randomly. Oh, and we should add, so where am I driving back from? From fucking bailing out Curtis. From getting arrested at the 420 rally that they kept doing after. So everyone got arrested at Liberty Forum. That was that year too. And
no, it's just Kat. Well, then Curtis.
Yes, at the next one, right? Like, because he went and he was like, we're going to do a 420 every week to like commemorate. And I was like, that's a lot of time commitment. I don't have that kind of time commitment, man. You're on your own with this one. And he, anyway, so he'd gotten arrested and needed someone to bail him out. And I was like, okay, I'll come bail you out. I felt very responsible for everyone back then. Like it was like a very nascent movement and very like, you know, you're like, oh, and of course, like, you know, it's the cops. And so I bailed him out and I was driving back to where, and oh man, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Oh my goodness. Have you ever been arrested?
No.
No? Not even in Sweden?
Yes, for drunk driving.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to actually put you on the spot.
No, it wasn't shameful. I mean, I worked in restaurants and sometimes we drank after work. And my car was parked in a way that I know I was going to get a ticket. So I was literally just going to repark it. And just as I was backing in, they come. And in Sweden, they don't have to, you know, you don't have any rights there. So they just took me straight to the hospital, got my blood.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have to, you know, and yeah, so I was. You know,
and they're strict there.
Yeah, I lost my license. Had to do a month in a basically work on
work
a farm.
camp.
work on a farm for a month. Yeah.
Wow. Did you feel rehabilitated?
It was funny because I actually learned a skill because I worked as a chainsaw operator. So we were clearing, you know, these country roads. So we were clearing trees. And the shift lead of that was a colonel and he was in for 3 months. And what was his crime? There was a guy that has stolen his wife's bicycle, and he saw the guy, down at the little center where they lived. So he took the bike and socked this thief, which you can't do in this country, but in Sweden that gave him 3 months in jail. It's kind of messed up. So there wasn't any hardened criminals there. We were just sort of.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the most brightest thing I've done, but it happened.
Nah.
I mean, I didn't drive around and like an irresponsible person. I was just trying to repark my car.
No, I mean, I know they were strict there because my dad was stationed in Stockholm from 83 to, no, I forget. Yeah, 83 to 88 maybe, and 82 actually. And they were heavy drinkers and heavy drinking drivers, and they were careful there in a way where it was like, my dad was like, I don't think diplomatic immunity is going to work here for drinking and driving.
It's even stricter now, because it used to be 0.5, I think.
Yeah, or like 2 glasses
but
of wine.
now it's like 0.2. You can't even drink a full beer. If you drink more than half, like a pint.
See, of course, I'm part of the temperance movement, so, I don't
Yeah. No, but it's, I don't know, it's very strict. It's ridiculously strict, I think. And people are, what it creates a very sort of anxiety-driven culture, so if you have like a glass of wine with dinner, you weigh 250 pounds, you have a glass of wine with dinner and you drive 4 hours later, people are, do you drive? You have wine. What? Yes, I can, it's like, calm down, it's not that serious. But, it's a very rule-following culture, in a sense.
That is a problem.
Oh, when it goes too far, yeah.
Well, or if there are too many rules, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the bigger problem.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, like I said.
So what should the basic rules be? Oh, this could even segue into the note I brought for tonight.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole. That could be a show. That should definitely be like a call out on the show. Like we could have like a button, a don't be an asshole button that I'm allowed to.
Don't do things that make people wish there was a state.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that complicated. I mean, this is I forget what it's from, but actually Kat opened Anarchapulco with this on the day. So it's a mutual friend of ours who was arrested, and like we've known for a long time. And she manages Anarchapulco, so it's sort of similar event to PorcFest down in Mexico. And they have their speakers day where they train everyone for the week. And Kat actually opened with this, and she was like, who knows the 4 agreements? And it felt very syncretic? No.
Synchronistic?
Nistic, thank you. Because I just learned them from Jennifer Narby, actually. And so these are, be impeccable with your word, right? That's like honor amongst thieves, right? Like honor your word, right? Don't take anything personally. That is so hard. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. So that was on my board here, which I got at the vintage store. So it just made it here. So I like those. Like always do your best. That used to trick me up because I'd be like, I could be trying way harder right now. And then I learned, so actually the things you want to do, you do try hard. Like you should actually listen to where you try hard.
Do
right?
your best under the circumstances. But what does impeccable means in this? Be impeccable with your word.
Cannot be pecked.
It means honor your word. Impeccable. Don't break it.
It's more
Be solid.
impeccable
like
sounds
taking more care.
Look up the meaning of impeccable.
So I mean, I know what it means. I'm just
No,
trying
like
to,
why it's there.
Right. But like
that's an extremely high standard. I mean,
exactly.
To be
it's like don't exaggerate.
Oh well, I fail
Okay,
at that,
like-
but I do
like-
come
like-
with the disclaimer.
it leads into. I think it's contextual. There are certain discussions that require that you're very exact with your words, maybe very very technical. But I also think there's a room for
I feel
more
like
playfulness.
perhaps the I actually think that I'm glad you said that, because I actually think the emphasis is on your word, and I think in that context your word means your
Okay, now I see what you're saying.
like your dealings, your
honor.
contracts.
That- your bond.
Yeah, your word is your bond.
Integrity.
Okay,
It
so
has to do with integrity.
so free from fault or blame. Oh, interesting. Flawless. That's interesting with the diamond sort of thing. Has impeccable manners. Yes. Spoken.
Not to sin in
Not
peccare.
to sin.
Yeah. Don't be sinful with your word. So what it means is that have
Accurate.
good intentions also, maybe? Be as accurate as you can. With it.
Peccadillo. I haven't heard that word in a long time. So this is so interesting because also, so I do think, see, this is actually a good word because it's all in the legal world.
Peccant. Guilty of a moral offense. You peccant.
You peccant. That's a good word. Let's bring that back.
Or the moral offense too.
What a peccant.
Because yeah, see, I mean
Not capable of sinning. That's like I said. That's
yeah, okay, that is
I said it.
well, so it goes back to that thing we were talking about before William got here, but the sort of which hat are you wearing and how fragmented are you? It's, I think by striving to do that, you actually habitually make your life better because it's easier.
Yeah.
And people don't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's my legal training or something. Like I don't know. It's my strict granny. Like I feel like your word is a promise. So a promise to me is a stronger. Like if you make a promise, you should keep it. Like if you give your word,
What about
I've.
What about an oath
I
or
don't
a
disagree
vow?
with the.
What about?
What about an oath or a vow?
I mean, I know there are different thoughts on all of that, but to have people say oath or a vow, where just as in general, as promise, as an oath or a vow.
The four agreements, are these societal agreements, or in what context are these agreements going to be adhered to?
So I first of all, I'm just shooting the shit in my court of opinion.
Sure, no, and I'm discussing it.
It's
because
just your opinion, man.
I think it's interesting.
Is I am trying to come up with short rules that most free staters might agree on as the cultural norms.
Oh, I see. Like
so that
okay.
we don't
See, that was a concept I
have
didn't realize.
so many conflicts. But I love in true free stater state that I came with 17 words and we're already debating them as one would expect.
I mean, yeah.
I didn't actually count
if
them.
we're gonna be impeccable with our words,
guessing.
we're gonna have to see what's what.
But I actually think if people, so here's, maybe you guys won't be surprised by this, but I always am. So people are always like, Carla, you're very blunt. And I'm like, am I? And then I remembered, back when I was lawyering, I got sent to special classes because although I was client facing, my sales guys were, you were a little blunt with the clients. And so I think being blunt is being impeccable with your word. Like, you just strip out the bullshit. Then, I mean, I guess I'm wondering what's tripping you up here. Like, you feel like there's situations where you want to lie. Is that the argument you're making?
No. So I didn't even understand in the context in which these agreements were going to be.
In a voluntary world, I think these would be a pretty good starting point.
I think in the context of the book, they're agreements with yourself.
Are they? I should probably read the book. But don't you think if you're living in an aligned fashion? So this was my whole shtick for the whole fucking year, the MLX. My final one today was alignment of thoughts, words, and deeds, mind, body, and soul. And if you can like align those things, right? So you're not lying to yourself. You've habitually created a world where you feel in alignment with it, then those shouldn't be hard.
I just have a hard time seeing, I mean...
I'm taking this personally, Peter.
No,
Number two is don't take things personally.
There's nothing wrong with these guidelines.
Yes.
But so...
That's the point.
So the method, okay, so we're going to expose
it's
everyone
like
to this,
stoicism in
then
a nutshell.
Are we going to sign a contract, or we're just going to agree to adhere to it? I mean, it's not something that people are going to take to heart, I don't think, necessarily.
Well,
what would motivate them to do so? I mean, they're just like an emotional outburst away from forgetting about all of this.
So I would like, do I want to say these words? I think it would be helpful for our community / society that we are building to consider putting out seeding, broadcasting, letting people know certain things so that when people come, they're not surprised by what level we're expecting people to behave like. Behave. I don't know what that word means, but we can put a pin in it. And
behave.
I think people don't understand. I don't know. I think people don't understand integrity anymore. I don't think people know how to be human anymore. And I think we gotta, I don't know.
I don't think people can be told what to do. I think the way that you change culture, I think, or the way that you affect other people to adhere to these values is it has to grow from within.
Sure, I mean,
so it has to be exist within maybe a kernel of people, and then other people see, oh, that's what those people are about.
Yes.
I'm going to
so I adhere to these. I like to adhere to these, and now I'm saying, hey, what are you guys thinking? You guys are like, boo!
No.
Yeah. You know what?
You're misunderstanding me.
Boo! These agreements suck, and you know what? Don't take it personally.
If you have rules, and if they're not attached to a living culture, I think they're going to have limited value. I think everyone that can look at that and says, oh yeah, I agree with that. But there's one thing to agree, and there's another thing to embody and to live it.
Right, but you know what? When people know what they're trying to embody, that process becomes easier. And so helping people to I mean honestly, I hear what you're saying. I'm not taking it personally. I'm going to do what I want, and it's going to involve that.
It's not. I'm just. I don't see it as a take it personally. No, we're just talking about. I think it's. I think it's important to talk about these things so that you're not tricking yourself into thinking that, okay, I have something that I want to do. I'm going to write down 4 sentences, and I want everyone to be aboard. I just don't think it works like that. That's all I'm saying.
You got to start a movement. That's what he's saying.
And so you have somebody
revolution, perhaps even.
You have somebody that, because people, we're all adults, so we know how selfish and into us, we're into ourselves, everyone, and I don't think change happens just. I think the best way to impact change is to live it. Is what it comes down to.
Live by example, I like to say, and I'm going to live by example by going to pee. So I'm stepping out for a second. Do we want to invite other people to come in?
This is your YouTube channel.
This
Right.
is.
So do we want?
How long do we have to do this? Is that the time?
Hold on.
Because
this is the wall clock, and this is how long we've been
10:30.
streaming.
oh God, no wonder I'm tired. Is that 22? So it's 10:32. So it is, yes.
We
okay,
want
I'm
to
gonna
make an
fade.
announcement in the Quill group.
Yes.
Anybody who wants to come by and
Be on here.
speak
Oh,
to the world.
yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
I guess we could just send it right here.
yes.
Okay. So
I'm not a member of the Quill group anymore. You go ahead.
I'm on it. Am I on it, or are you
Yeah,
on it?
you're on it.
Okay. What am I doing? Saying
You
anyone?
seen the restroom?
Yes. Okay. I remember that part.
Inviting the
is-
people in the club to participate.
Okay. And possibly waking up.
And watch your step. Yeah, you're very good.
Thank you, Alex, for taking good care of me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now the trick.
Check 1 2. Oh, it sounds so much better if you get right up onto the microphone.
Oh.
Here's the other thing too. So it's very directional, so it falls off very quickly.
Okay.
So the only reason why people can hear my voice right now is because it's feeding back through your mic too.
I see.
Right? Because there's no pickup on purpose.
Sure.
Right? And that's good because you generally don't want your
Welcome.
Hello. Hello.
I don't want your
Have a
voice
seat.
coming in this microphone, basically. Hey.
Please pass careful for
You
the
are being
lights
audio and
and the
video
tripping
recorded.
hazard.
Yes.
Whoa, whoa,
Watch your head.
Careful.
Yep.
Duct tape. If we could tape those.
Or a rug.
What's going on, Nick?
Run under.
How's it going, Peter? Good seeing you.
So one trick.
Would you like some eggnog?
No, I'm good. Appreciate it.
One trick is getting real close to the microphone.
Okay.
Yep. Very good.
So what are we talking about?
So,
What are we talking about?
whatever you want to talk about.
What's the point?
Things most people can't see. The point. So one of the quotes that has been bouncing around my frontal lobe recently was a quote by T.S. Eliot. He says, do something useful, say something courageous, and find a beauty to contemplate. That is enough for one life. And I really like that.
Keep it simple. Yeah, I like that too.
And if you drill down into it, so like you could ask the pedantic question, like, what is courage? And if you get into the etymology, courage is derived from Latin courage, and it means heart.
Oh yeah, cœur in French. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can really nail down exactly what he means, and it's a hard question to answer. Like, have you said anything courageous? Like, what's the last courageous thing you've done?
That's a tough question to answer. I guess it depends on how you define courage, because people use courage in a lot of different ways these days.
Sure.
People, it's courageous just to speak the truth,
Certainly to power.
And in that case, yeah, then I exercise my courage often, I think. But I'm not convinced that maybe other people interpret it as such.
Certainly not. What always interests me is, like, when you ask somebody, like, what's the most revolutionary thing you've done? What's the most revolutionary thought you've had? And what they'll give you is like some crazy misadventure. And it's incredible to me how unlikely the adventure is. Like, you talk to some guy, he's a nice button down dude in his like 50s. And no, like, he was a part of the protest to try and stop the IMF from forming, like, back in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
Like,
of course. Yeah.
And it's weird because, well, you don't think of that, right? Like, your parents are always your parents, and you don't necessarily, like, you understand on a conceptual level that at one point they were rebellious teenagers just like you.
Yeah, I mean, I would say especially, the boomer generation. I mean, from the 60s, it's just basically been the norm to protest. People, before that, people didn't really protest. If they protested, it was for food or work. But then, since the 60s, people have been protesting about other things. So it's just a part of life, I think.
And I mean, the hippies and the Summer of Love were inspired by the beat poets of the 50s. So you had guys like Ginsberg and what's his name, Jack Kerouac.
Yeah.
Have you read some of his books?
I have not. Yeah.
Yeah. He has one book that's just called On the Road. And it's literally him with no job, like no meaningful work, constantly getting fired and bebopping around most of America with his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those very American stories because, I mean, the notion of a road trip is not really a tradition that exists in a lot of other countries because they're just not the size of America.
Yeah, that was long my dream to come to America and do road trips. I mean, when I was younger.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did you ever?
Yeah, when I was, I guess, teenager, my dream was to fly to New York and do a road trip from New York to California, and then get a motorcycle and drive down to South America. So that last part I've never done, but I've crossed the country, I don't know, 3 or 4 times now. So
Okay.
I've done that, both the sort of the upper part and the southern part. So I've seen a lot of the U.S.,
Okay.
which has been fun.
Well, so I'm told the hardest part is the Darien Gap, where I guess there isn't roads.
The Darien Gap, not sure what that is.
So it's, I think it's in Colombia, possibly Panama.
Okay.
But there's
Oh, yes, I've heard of that. Yes.
there's a gap where there just doesn't exist roads
that might be tough, yeah.
for some reason. Well, interestingly enough, I know. Do you remember Ricky Humboldt?
Yeah. I mean, he did the trip down.
He managed it somehow,
Yeah.
and
There must be a different route, maybe, because he went to what, Argentina, or?
yeah, he traveled all the way down to, I think, the tip, like Tierra del Fuego. Do you remember? Yeah, just the tip. Do you remember where Ricky went on his motorcycle?
He went up to Canada, and then he went down to the Darien Gap, where you can ride no further, and the road ends into the jungle. And then he went this way,
Inland.
put the motorcycle on a boat and sailed around it, and then drove to the other side of the Darien Gap. So he went as
Wow.
he went as far as you can go on a motorcycle.
Yeah. And
On
then
a KLR.
you had to hop on a boat. That's funny.
Put it on a boat.
So it's possible.
He also swam. I guess they let him swim the Panama Canal.
Okay.
Yeah, like guy was just nobody like Rick. He started the first official winter. He called it the Henniker Triathlon, and he was the one and only participant. but he did jump in the river and swim in the middle of the winter. So
Oh my goodness, I miss him.
Yeah.
The character. All right, I'm gonna take a little
You're taking a break?
brief break as well. Yes. Avocado oil. Oh yeah, when I come back.
I didn't roll this. Oh fuck! Did I forget my papers? I think I did. I'll probably find something.
I have rented a hot tub
Sorry.
at
It's a very bad day.
tomorrow noon downtown on Elm Street. Carlin, Louie, Alex, myself, and Peter are going.
Okay.
I would. There's only room for one more, so I'm inviting you on the. In case Sam would not be interested. If she would be interested, then we can book another time, perhaps with Terry Cat and do a group.
Sure.
But if she's like, that's not my thing, then you're welcome to come.
I'm almost certain she's going to say no. I'll see. I don't know what I'm doing
I
tomorrow.
need to know.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to offer.
Then no. Feel free to offer away.
At the end of the night, I'll let you know if there are no other takers.
Okay. To do a triathlon as just one participant, the level of dedication. What do they always append to eulogies? It's we will never see their like again.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
If I can find some tape.
May I interest you in some avocado chips?
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Avocado oil.
Oh, so they were fried in avocados.
Oil, yeah.
Yeah. How are you, Alex?
Trying to be mindful of the audience who might not appreciate a crunching in their ears.
Yeah.
So this is the inaugural stream.
How's it going?
Doing it live.
Ah, yes. Quite possibly Bill O'Reilly's greatest contribution to the culture.
Yeah,
Just that meme.
we'll do it live.
What do you think he would say if he heard that?
If he heard what himself?
If he heard that his greatest contribution to the culture was that one meme?
Oh, I think he'd probably feel very insulted.
Do you... I mean, yeah, probably, but... I don't know.
Thank you, William.
I don't know that being known for a joke is all that bad.
He
right?
didn't intend for it to be a joke.
Yeah, no, he very much did not intend for it to be a joke, but at a certain point, like, it became a joke, and obviously you have to own up to it, right?
Hopefully.
I mean, if you accidentally discovered penicillin,
Well, penicillin was discovered accidentally.
so he's accidentally funny. I mean, you can't take it away from the guy.
Sure.
Oh, I just realized.
Uh-oh.
Here, go ahead.
I'm still looking
Just realized I have a thing.
Man, I miss my punk rocker friend Jimmy from San Francisco. He was still in the band at Free, but he just grew.
All right. Now, if you still trip, it's your
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
pretty good about that.
Check 1 2. Yes.
Avocado, ooh, maybe
Okay.
avocado oil.
So now I have the ability to talk on the stream
Uh-oh.
from here.
Yes, it seems like you have undue power.
As opposed to the power to end the stream.
Yes. It seems to me that the ability to talk without being on camera would be something of a superpower.
Oh. That's true. But I have a camera here.
Okay.
Actually. Oh, man.
You're going to throw
I'm gonna
that
do
up
it
there?
live. I'm going to try and make it happen.
World premiere.
Yeah. Let's see. Split screen. Okay. Wait.
Ooh, now there's two of me.
Oh, my fault. My fault.
My fault. There we go.
I felt for a second there like I might have to recreate Bill O'Reilly's wonderful meme. It's like, we'll do it live.
No.
No, we'll do it live. So, this is pretty well put together operation.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations. I understand this was some amount of work on your part.
Yes.
Yes. Do you feel satisfied?
Yes. As long as people are having fun.
Are you having fun?
I am.
So, do you have any resolutions for the new year?
1080p.
I think I'll actually try and throw myself into French, like properly.
Oui, oui.
Do you speak any languages other than English?
Not fluently.
Okay.
Doing Duolingo in Hebrew.
What's so recently I'm doing similar with French. I found that the French word for include is the same word for understand.
Okay. So let's see if we can do something live here.
Oh Lord.
All right. So we were looking up some words earlier in the show.
Okay.
And boom, you're looking up impeccable. Let's go to all right. English, Spanish, French.
Wait.
So you said okay, what word?
Understand.
Actually, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do picture in picture.
Comprendre. Yeah. Oui.
Comprendre.
Is the same word as include. Compris. Ooh.
Comprendre. Inclure.
So just look up include, because I think there might be a couple other words. Synonyms, perhaps. Yep, comprendre, right there. More translations.
Very good.
So, I mean, the obvious question is how does that happen? I never thought of understanding and inclusion as being the same thing.
To grok, to make it part of yourself.
I mean, that's the immediate callback. Stranger in a strange land, to drink of something so deeply that it becomes a part of yourself. Still, though, I'm reminded that you can only conceive of things that you have words for, and the notion that it's the same word suggests to me that I guess to think in French means that inclusion is the same thing as understanding. So yeah, it kind of does become a part of yourself. that's literally the coolest thing that happened to me today. And then I immediately trolled my mother-in-law. She's a native French speaker.
How did you accomplish this trolling?
How do you say include, understand? Compris. Also, they're not the same word, but they're homophones, month and me, or my.
There's also French. What is that word, a fait accompli?
A fait accompli? What?
Do you know what I'm talking about? Fait accompli?
I don't believe so.
It's means it's already baked in. It's already done. It's like a political term,
Okay.
but I don't know how to spell it.
So au fait, that's going to be OU space FAIT.
Oh, there it is.
Not au fait accompli. Okay.
A thing accomplished and presumably irreversible.
I do like the presumably irreversible.
As opposed to certainly irreversible.
Well, it goes back to something my wife is very fond of saying, which is a quote from some Greek philosopher, which is, you can't step in the same river twice because it's not the same river and you're not the same person.
Indeed.
It does seem like New Year's Eve is the appropriate time to speak of the ephemeral nature of everything, right? Do you know what ephemeral means?
I do. I'm just trying to balance the idea of ephemeral and permanent.
Well, so presumably irreversible, like what's done is done.
No, I understand the definitions. I'm saying that you said it's an appropriate time to talk about the ephemeral,
Yes.
but there's also the eternal, and they. I don't know why New Year's Eve would be an appropriate time for one over the other.
Well, so it's an arbitrary benchmark, right? Like, this is the time where people reflect back on the previous 365 days and think about where they've been and how far they've come, and they then theoretically plan for the future, although resolutions have a very poor track record of being followed through with.
So, in other words, navel gazing.
Yeah.
Lots of navel gazing.
I mean, it seems to me that people will always seek for like a story. So when you reflect back on the year, you have to come up with, I don't know, like a through line to kind of make sense of the whole thing. The notion that, I mean, like it's all just chaos. People really don't like that notion. Although it makes for decent movies, particularly of the Guy Ritchie variety.
Well, there you have it.
But speaking on the Eternal, what do you got? Any insights?
None I would be prepared to share with you on camera.
Understood. So your resolution is 1080p. When do you think?
At a minimum?
When do you think you'll accomplish that?
I don't know.
1201.
Well, it's difficult. The camera, the other camera there, is only doing 720.
Oh goodness gracious!
Yeah, it's lagging.
Oh.
I don't think it's going to get better tonight.
What is this, medieval England?
We need better hardware. Yet the phone camera's the problem. The Mevo there seems to be doing fine.
Okay. Still, this is quite the nice little setup.
Oh, I got to remove that ring camera from it.
What are we talking about? What's the point?
Yeah,
the name of
we
the
talked
show.
about that. No, thank you. I'm good. Appreciate it.
So,
Do you want your seat
Have you
back?
been monologuing? I hope so.
Not monologuing.
what is your idea of what the point might be?
I'm saying
You
I
have
can
a
talk,
mic.
so I can talk
Okay.
to you.
Hilariously, I was talking to Peter about this.
No, I can't. You'd have to go all the way back there
For what?
to get
A wide angle
two more
shot.
people in it. Yeah.
Oh, but it's duct taped.
Right. So, you have a.
you want your seat back?
At some stage, but feel free
go
to
ahead.
talk to me from there for a while. I think we need to push some more
grab
chairs
another
in the
chair.
back. Yeah.
In the game room.
No. The cable's long enough.
It is.
Yeah, but we got to feed it through.
Oh well. Yes, that's why I was asking. You don't just have another length of cable.
No, I actually cut that cable live. So here.
There are real downsides to long dresses. Long dresses. Like I keep falling over my own feet. Like it trips you up. I was like, this is dangerous. Ooh, snack attack.
Okay, you'll be able to slide it right out. Leave that under her.
All right.
I'm so amazed by how this has actually come together. This is fantastic.
Velcro is where it's at.
Yes.
Good.
I do feel like eating chips into the mic is going to be a
don't do
thing.
that.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid it.
I love this. So would you do your own show or would you be like a regular guest? Are you going to do a show, Will?
I don't know. Oprah was talking about doing a show too.
Cool. You know what? I mean, honestly, like one of the shows could literally just be a bunch of people playing D&D and streaming that. I bet you that would be the most popular content we make. And honestly, I can't lie. There was a show like that I want to say it was Dan Harmon did. And I watched it. I don't even play D&D. Sorry, I can't help eating these chips. Oh my god, I ate so many carbs. I'm having the most vicious of diets tomorrow.
It's avocado oil.
All right. What do we need?
I did notice that. That's actually why I'm eating them.
Right.
So thank you.
Yep.
Also, it's way past my bedtime, so the crunchy spiciness is gonna keep me awake. Oh. want to see if we can create 24 hours a day content. Like people don't actually have to do all of them live. They can come record at other times and you can just decide who gets the 2 a.m. slot.
All right.
Should I scoot?
Probably.
Not sure I want to spend the rest of the year.
Yeah, not here.
So good. All right.
The lid of this. I do realize I'm very addicted.
All right.
So,
We got. Would you like to sit in?
you mean like,
Like
Oh.
grab a chair if you'd like a chair. And just
oh, I could sit in, but I really, Alex, does the cash box have like the ability to turn a 20 into some 1 so I can buy it?
Oh goodness. It's like a picnic and yeah.
That is a very stellar priority.
Another party.
But you know you can't be late.
I mean, if I get there at 12:01, like,
Yeah.
yeah, close enough. But yeah, house party. My tabletop game for a bunch of lefties and so forth.
I'll bet they're very entertaining.
Yeah. Found the Pico. It's weird when they get,
Topics that might be interesting.
they get like
All right. Hi, guys. We are back live here in the Quill Underground studio. No.
The studio.
Studio. Yes. Okay. Interesting. So, yes, we should talk branding notes at some stage. Yes, that makes total sense. The upstairs. Please come save me from myself. Booked straight out. All right, so we are about half an hour from New Year's Eve. We are inviting people who are hanging out here at the Quill to come tell their stories. I saw Mr. Lee over there, so hopefully he will come join us at some stage. Just come talk shit with me. And I was just telling Alex, I was so impressed with this whole little setup we have created here. It's, we've got our mics, things are moving around, the cameras are working. Alex is going to tell me a story. Are you?
I don't know. I have to think of a good one.
Okay, so here, let's talk a little bit about the work you guys put in here. So, like, stripped the floors, took out all the glue. The carpets are still coming.
Well, there was a part of the
primed.
floor. Part of the floor was had some water damage, and so it
Right.
was soft, and your foot would like
Sink.
yeah.
And
so
that
we cut out the subfloor, got new subfloor, and what else? Paint, primer, and then paint.
And all of it, and it was all black.
All the
and I
lights,
love
yep.
how it's now light and bright, and
So
it feels different.
thanks to Bill D for the lights.
Yes.
And I can actually do this without getting up. This is pretty funny. You can change the color temperature.
Right. We don't like the gray. Remember, we like the yellow.
This is like
See how?
being on the surface of the sun
Yes.
right now.
And the yellow one is more flattering. Well, maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's amazing though, and it's amazing that these tools all exist. And we could probably make a documentary just on the different lights we've put in here over the years.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we want to redo that one?
I want to see what happens.
Okay. Keep testing things out.
Yeah, profound lyrics, soulful voice, really well composed music. But I like that shit.
The background. I like sad shit. Oh. The table is very cluttered. That will be a thing. Maybe what we'll figure out is there's like something that can stand here. So there's like, we could have it on air.
Right, yeah.
So I could hide my crap. I will figure something out. I do think that's a good note. I noticed it too. So maybe a stack of books.
We could have in the window facing the street.
Yeah.
We can have an on-air sign.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Because what I want to do, so my earnest goal is to attract people who want to, be guests and, porcupines tell their stories, locals who have good things. I want it to be a place where people come to give scoops, where people come for calls of action, right? So if someone's like, hey, I have a thing at the State House tomorrow, I want them to know they can come and put it out. And part of that means, of course, that we have to also build out an audience, right? Yes, come save us. Nay, yay, yes. So we were
sleep
talking
till
about all the
Brooklyn.
work you guys put in here, and I was expressing my appreciation.
Well, thank you for thanking us.
I should have waited
appreciate
till
your
you were here.
I can watch it later.
So we were brainstorming names.
For the podcast.
Should we call it mind control?
No.
Control Mind?
No.
Quill Thrill? Quill. So we should
What
have
happened to
little.
what's the point?
What's the
I
point?
was happy with what's the point.
Okay, we like that one. We should write that
Whatever
down.
you
It's
choose,
definitely at
Yes.
the top.
whatever you choose, buy the domain name first.
Yes, fair. Before I yell it to my 2 subscribers. Yes. Actually, I mean, I guess sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I do have some good ones in the wheelhouse, but what do we want to talk about? My brain is frozen, so I realize we have...
Well, we can talk about brain freeze.
So that's a real thing. Right, ice cream
Yep.
is brain freeze. But it
Can
is
be.
also a state of mind sometimes for me. Oh, does your brain freeze?
Not generally from ice cream. So then, for the purposes of accountability and possibly scheduling and or to ease social interactions in 2026, my therapist asked me if I had any New Year's resolutions, and I said no. But I have decided to make one, and it's I was going to make it to not eat in restaurants, but it turns out that I did not know that in Maine and apparently other states, there's a 5.5% sales tax on soda.
Oh, wow.
Coke, canned soda. And that's if it's bought at a grocery store. If it's bought at a convenience store, it's 8%, eight and change. But anyways, it's 5% at a grocery store. But EBT recipients, there's a law that people buying soda pop on EBT, that the sales tax is waived. So that's like a direct subsidy from the taxpayers of the state to Coca-Cola. That's pretty sick. But then, right. So circularly, the actual goal is to not buy food upon which a sales tax is charged. So prepared food, that includes apparently food prepared in a deli, like the potato salad. I think
Right.
even the boiled eggs, like that's prepared because they cooked the egg, so that means they get to charge sales tax on it. So I'm not buying coffee, brewed coffee.
Wow.
I'm not buying anything upon which the state collects sales tax
I think
as far as food goes.
I think that's a noble endeavor. I think it would probably also help with what you eat.
I was going to
right?
say it was mostly a health thing.
Yeah.
but then I was like, oh,
well,
this will make it easy to delineate.
So
and-
what I love about that, and maybe a thought, for people in general is like that's noble because it defunds the state, right? But it's also a hack to improve your own health. And so those are like sweet spot things to go find. Like when I quit drinking, I actually
That's a big one.
I
It's a lot
actually
of money.
calculated how much money I had defunded the state of New Hampshire with. Side story. Let's just say, so I went back to New York City once after I'd quit drinking, and after we had left the city to move to New Hampshire, I had left the city to move to New Hampshire, and I went back to that liquor store. Actually, I hadn't quit drinking because I was still buying booze. And the lady was like, "Where have you been?"
We thought you died of withdrawals.
I mean, their business took a hit. Like, what if, like, we're probably going to move PorcFest out of the Lancaster area. And I was talking to some business owners up there, and they were like, you better let people know. Like, everyone's going to take an economic hit. They're used to, like, you know, people coming, 3,000 people coming and spending money in one town is a big deal.
That is, yeah.
It's not your 30,000.
Right. But it's not you that needs to let them know. It's Rogers.
Right.
It's his decision.
So how would you, like, how are you going, what are you going to eat if you're not doing that?
It's mostly what I eat now. It's just I'll be less likely when I stop at a convenience store to get gas. I'll be less likely to pick up some chips or a burger or a coffee. Or
do you feel like
whatever.
you still regularly drink soda?
No.
Or no, right? No. I quit that when I was still a lawyer.
I'd be more likely to buy an energy drink, but those are off the table then too.
Right.
Right. Unless I can maybe order them.
No, that's
from
like caffeine
Amazon.
and sugar.
I get the sugar free. But if I might be able to order them online with no sales tax, then I
was going to say if you order them online, ship them to me.
I have to ship them to New Hampshire. Yeah.
The no New Hampshire sales tax thing, which is sweet. I mean, it does actually make a difference.
It makes a big difference. I ordered some silver online, and it was going to be a retarded amount of sales tax.
So just having it,
Have it shipped here.
Yeah, that makes.
Did you hear that, you guys? I committed tax fraud. You heard it here first, live online. I defrauded the state of Maine out of the sales tax for my silver purchase by having it shipped to New Hampshire. Is that a felony? Is that not? Probably not.
I don't know. I mean, I know we commit 3 felonies a day.
On average.
And that's
I've
not
had to
when
make
we're
up
trying.
for other people. So
you're at 9.
You've got some do-gooders that are only like 1 or 2 a day, and you got to pick up the slack for them.
Right. Yeah, man.
I should call them do-batters, actually.
So resolutions, which is a different word, right, to goal, if we're going to be precise. So for folks who don't know us, we have a battle of word precision. So you said goal. You said resolution the first time and then goal the second time, but you also, when you told the story the first time, qualified it in a way that I'm going to point out to you because I think it's a good callback to people's own way of being. You said you don't want to make it like a resolution because then if you fail, you failed. And then you said because it's binary. And I don't think you heard me, but I suggested, at least this has worked for me, is I think we're conditioned to think about failure in entirely the wrong way. Life is a lot of failure. That's actually the reality, right? And so not making resolutions, the threat, wrong word, but the overlay, the fear, I suppose is a word, of failure. Anyway, I noticed that brain loop, and I'm like, I don't think it serves you, or it certainly didn't serve me.
No, there's a few ways to sidestep it, for sure, and one of them is simply redefining it, right? So if I'm, for whatever reason, end up in an out-of-the-way place with a group of people and we're sitting down they're all going to eat dinner at a restaurant, am I going to be like, bye guys, and walk across the street to the grocery store and buy an apple? I mean, probably not. I might sit down and have dinner with them.
Yep.
But in general,
right.
My intent is to... that's my goal. That's my intent. So, and then exceptions happen, and that doesn't mean that you failed, because it means that you've won most of the time.
Yes.
Right. And
also,
the exception is the exception.
I think it was because you qualified it with, I'm only going to make one, right? And because I know, like, some people don't find it useful to do January 1st. I just watched, like, some comedian making fun of that. I kind of like it because it feels like a fresh start for things. But, like, I quit drinking on, like, the 26th of December. Like, that's just a random fucking day. I mean, mostly because I ran out of booze. And I was just like, I'm done, you know.
Definitely would have quit after New Year's.
But, well, the weird thing is sometimes I think when people know they're done, they're just done, right?
Right.
And
True.
then it doesn't really matter what the day is. And it wasn't even like a rock bottom thing. It was more I just can't keep doing the, you know, the oh, I get this word wrong all the time, but it is not remunerations, which, why would I even say that word? Because it's harder than ruminations. But it's because remunerations was a hard word in law school. And so it got filed away wrong. And that's your opportunity to be like, your brain is not a file. All right, so we only have 10 minutes.
Numerate.
Are we going to do a countdown?
Numerating. Oh, shit. I actually have to run upstairs.
Okay.
I have my Google Meet going, and it's rebroadcasting this in a tab. I will check in with my
So we can do it. Oh, hey, check this out. So
Okay.
I did this thing. Look at the television screen.
So
Right.
we can have conversations.
Exactly.
But then I should look at you and not the screen.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
And then can I do things like I could be like, I mean, some of this I can definitely prep before the time, but obviously if we're just having flow. But so I have these like shows that I love where they're like really just perfect little moments, like we just did with the Bill Hicks thing. So if I know what episode they are and stuff, like we can start to work stuff like that in. I'm a big fan of like Community, and I want to do, and I think I want to do it with you because you have such a strong sense of ethics and opinions, and very strong ones. And I think that's good. And obviously you're very smart. So have you ever watched Community?
I have not.
Okay, so
No.
it's very meta. It's Dan Harmon, who I believe also did Rick and Morty.
I believe, having never met the man, I believe him to be a sick man.
Interesting. Why is that?
The content that he creates is very nihilistic.
Okay, so we should definitely have this with this particular episode because it is an episode where, so the premise is it's a community college and there are all these disparate characters and they have, it's Adderall Annie, and she was like a AAA kid and then dropped out as, and then the main character is a lawyer who faked his credentials and got caught out. But this episode, they're in debate club and they're arguing whether man is good. And it's very clever. And in my opinion, laugh out loud funny. So maybe our humor separates there. I don't know. I find it comical. But so you've consumed his content, or you're just basing it on what you think out of clips?
I've seen Rick and Morty.
Okay.
I think he's done other things too. Did he do BoJack Horseman?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have watched that, but yeah. It's
they're like someone in our community had a suicide attempt, right? And he, according to him, he put a pistol in his mouth and pulled the trigger, and it misfired in his car.
Wow.
And after that happened, it was like quite the roller coaster of emotions for me. But after, when his friends, right, people that he calls friends, came in to support him, this one friend said, "Hey, let's just go to the Quill and watch some of your favorite, cartoons and just chill out." And so they put on some cartoon that I think it had like a horse in it or something. I forget what it was, but it was an animated thing like Rick and Morty. And it was just so vulgar and nihilistic. And I was like, if I was consuming that information too, like, I would be suicidal as well. Like, just like we're, talking about food and health and diet with that kind of stuff, like, there's an information diet that people have.
I think that's so true. I think that's really important. I mean, for what it's worth, I don't think Community is in that category, at least not my reading of it. And I'm a connoisseur of funny sitcoms, so I think it falls on the funny side. I don't like nihilism either. And actually, I find the content these days it's actually too violent for me to watch. I find it like troubling. And one of the like new things that's sort of been normalized is actually male-female fights where like they pretend like the chick would actually have a fighting chance, which is just not physical reality. And I think it's actually bad, right? It's kind of creating a entirely unreality. That's not how life is. That's not real.
What, like the Girl Boss?
The show?
No.
Oh.
So, you said it was unrealistic what the women would do?
Yeah, well, in the fight scenes, like where a guy can like punch a girl and she's gonna stand up and punch him back. Like, that's not reality.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know
Which is fine in The Matrix, because it's supposed to be The Matrix.
Yes.
And it's fine in superhero movies because they're superheroes, but it's retarded if they're trying to have any semblance of reality. To have a little
And it's that fine line,
5'6"
actually.
chick kicking ass, like, that's not.
Yeah, I think where I noticed it was actually with a Charlize Theron movie, recently. I think it was Atomic Blonde. And I was just like, this
It also depends on if it's campy. Like, if it's super campy, then it's supposed to be.
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
It's more like CIA assassin, but kind of like almost superhero sexy assassin,
Right.
So
it goes overboard with the physical altercations, where it's obvious she would get her ass handed to her.
Yeah.
No matter the training. That's at some point, size and strength overcome training.
Well,
particularly if they also are trained.
Right.
Right.
I mean, even judo, like once the guy's punched you a few times, it's like you're
and the thing is, no matter how good you are, on any given Sunday, you're going to lose. Right. And so you're not, in a series like that, you're like, not only are you the underdog in every altercation, but you also win every altercation, and there are multiple altercations per episode, and that's eventually you're just like
like I actually I remember I think it was when Louie and I started dating, and I was a feisty drunk when I was young, by which I mean I didn't have much self-control on top of the drinking. And we were somewhere and we got home and I was mad and I decided to punch him. I think in the face, actually. And I remember he took his arm and he took me up against the wall and he just stopped me like that and he went, how about we make a deal? You don't punch me and I don't punch you. And I was like, okay, right? So I think back to these like agreements, right? Where it's like, these movies are kind of like I don't know, I think the violence is out of control and I think it's from the wars all the way down, right? But we need punching bags as well, so it is a paradox. I don't know, how did we get here? It's because you started with nihilism and suicides. So now we got to really punch it up for these last 2 minutes.
Oh no, I was just making a comment about an individual who I was recalling an individual who had a suicide attempt. Right, he put the pistol.
Like, don't repeat the story. We've already jujued it twice.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Well,
it's our last. It's literally our last minute before New Year. I don't want to have these words in like.
So
the
basically, what I'll say is you're in the same way that you look at your physical health and the diet with that. There's also an information diet.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
So,
yep.
You know.
Yes, and I think we should point it out because it's garbage in, garbage out. I mean, that is a reality. That's a reality of anything that you're putting into your corpus, right? Like your brain, your body. I'm going to hit you with the soul. You're going to get mad.
Yeah. So, speaking about garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
There are these things called data sets.
Yes.
And there's this thing called a LLM.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I don't know why.
I mean, if they're training it on Reddit, like...
But so I kind of look at it like it's a tool, like a gun. You can use a gun to defend yourself, or you can use it aggressively, right? It's just a tool. So with the LLM, I feel like if your intentions are pure and you're like seeking truth.
I think a tool...
I don't put that much value in what I read. I'm just constantly fucking scanning things. So it's just like...
Well, if a tool... You wouldn't use a gun if it backfired often. This is what I'm suggesting. If you're interested in accuracy, then it's consistently malfunctioning. So it's that's worse than consistently wrong, obviously, but it's also worse than consistent.
I don't process information that way. So this is how I process information. I literally read things with very little depth. I understand all of it until something jumps out at me that I don't know, that I find it. Happy New Year! We, according to our clock, we have 53, 3, 2,
58 seconds. Wait. No.
What?
What?
Oh. Okay.
It was counting up, not down.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's okay. Happy New Year, guys.
experience, and I weighed my options, and thought about the prior conversations I'd had with the person. It's like, I'm pretty sure this will work. And I slapped him. He's never forgotten it, and he's also never forgotten that there is proof of objective reality. So,
That's very interesting. I have to go.
I usually don't kick people in the shin just to prove that reality is real.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Left of,
Happy New Year, Ken.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Be safe, Ken.
Whenever someone says there is no reality, I do want to kick them in the shin. I very rarely do.
It is hard for me to keep.
Yes, it does. It proves one of two things. Either you're fucked up and wanted to feel pain, or you're not fucked up and didn't want to feel pain and it happened anyway.
Or you're looking for an excuse to slap people.
I have way better ways of figuring out how to slap people. I can get paid
You don't
to
know
slap
where
people
I've
if I
been,
really want
Lou.
to.
You don't know where I've been.
So, for the record, state what it is that you're debating for the people who don't know.
State your name, profession, and serial number.
So I think Lee is saying that anarcho-tyranny is rules for thee but not for me. Is that accurate?
Vice versa.
Rules for thee, but
So
not for
first,
me.
I want to say I love your framing.
Yeah.
I think, like, I'm hearing this is like the most honest thing I can say. Like, you're saying a thing, here's what I'm hearing.
Right.
Is just such a perfect framing. And so anarcho-tyranny is defined by the worst parts of anarchy and the worst parts of tyranny. So anarchy in the sense of things are unpredictable, and tyranny in the sense of, leaders get away with literally everything.
Right. So that right there, leaders get away with literally everything, and rules for me but not for thee, I'm suggesting describes every government. What changes is who the we is. So in an oligarchy, it's rules for thee but not for the oligarchs. In communist rule, it's rules for thee but not for the party elite. In capitalism, it's rules for thee but not for the politically collected and the super rich.
But
And
you
so
can
we
never
go
have
on.
complete anarcho-tyranny because then they would have no propaganda. So you always have to have bait. Like, you have to have a worm on your hook or you're not going to, be the worst possible human being, which is, governments. The literal defining feature is lack of accountability. So, okay, what do you put in the sandbox of lack of accountability? Now, we're moral human beings, so we go, nothing. I mean, children aren't accountable because they're children, but adults don't get lack of accountability.
They do. It's called a limited liability corporation.
Well,
That's the
Accountability,
entire,
TM.
the entire,
Grade A meat.
The entire point.
Copywritten
of
trademark.
corporate personhood is
Right.
to-
But you have to have some element of not anarcho-tyranny, and that defines the flavor of government. So what they promise us with capitalism is a free market. But it's a bait and switch where they give us corporatism.
because, and we discussed this, visited this point earlier. C4SS, if you're not familiar, Center for Stateless Society, has a great publication called Markets Not Capitalism. And so
That
if you
is,
use those words better, you can
Very
avoid a lot of
important
confusion.
distinction. Like, capitalism and communism mean literally the same and opposite things. But market. Okay, we know what a market is. We're human beings. We have physical existence. We've traded shit with each other. It was awesome. That's what a market is.
there was a little raping and pillaging also.
The more you do that, the less you can trade with them. So maybe the Vikings set out to be trading the entire time, and maybe they just stole everyone's shit and found out, wait a second, I actually get more spyglasses and compasses when I talk to them again.
No, I'm pro markets, obviously.
I mean, that's the whole premise. What the fuck are we doing here?
Well,
As Mr. Kin once said, what do we believe in? He took a very strong stance saying, excuse me, you're walking into someone's shop and you didn't talk to the manager and it says masks and you're not doing masks and you're not talking to them. And really, what the fuck do we believe in? We believe in talking to each other, communicating. Like, that's our fucking holy grail. That is our one top of the pyramid, is we would rather talk to each other than hit each other and threaten each other and cheat each other.
Those things have very
no, I like
And
to talk
that's what
myself.
games are for. And that's what gambling is for.
True.
You want to gamble on your games voluntarily over there in the sandbox. Yeah, ritualized warfare, fantastic. When people agree to it.
So I think we should start having a betting pool on, I mean, I know they do it for like presidential races, but what if we started gambling? Like if you could create fantasy teams of politicians.
You can.
You can? That exists?
You can create a wager on absolutely everything. So yes, I had not implemented on this idea, but I thought there was definitely value in creating a specific board on one of these odds websites, which will allow you to do so, choosing one and then running odds on every election, every state and local election.
So
A politician ball, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It would be wild, because then you could invite people on to talk about.
So
the
love that
officers.
idea, but I think we should just be doing everything limited to this general geographic area, and I'm willing to even go up to Montreal because I think I want to annex
not
all
only
the way
do you
to
think
there.
that, so does physics.
Right, but what I'm saying is I think this year, I think in 2026, welcome to the new year, we should start collecting very specific data on New Hampshire. I'm like, if anyone's talking about pedos, like we should all know Ghislaine's story the best. We should understand which
I
lawyer
get to literally
defended
live
her,
through the
who was-
creation of Newspeak, where it's like, okay, well, in order to not offend the algorithm, instead of saying this, I will say this.
What am I supposed to
I
not
can't
say the
say
word?
some words. Murder, death, kill. We haven't had a murder, death, kill since. No, I will say unalive.
Yeah, or undeaded. I heard something the other day.
Wait.
I mean, it is bizarre.
That sounds double plus ungood to me.
So are you? I mean, honestly, I don't know. I have been unplatformed, deplatformed many places. I don't know what the rules are. I just keep doing what I want. So I don't know what the words are we're allowed to say or not say.
George Carlin.
Don't be a not say. That's what I can tell you for sure. It's what I really believe in.
Oh, yes, that's always
Is that a not say?
Don't be a not say.
So speak up.
I mean, what are we
silence is
doing here?
violence.
We're figuring out how to talk to each other instead of beating each other over the head and being scared all of the time.
Well, I mean, I don't think people who are humans generally are doing well on the not scared part of things.
No shit. We have had literally every wavelength of our existence flooded with a fear message.
So what's interesting, I might have mentioned this to you guys, but is, so you know how people talk about dopamine, oxytocin, a lot of the other hormones. Here's one you haven't heard in years: adrenaline. And social media actually runs on adrenaline. But they've decided, because everyone understands what adrenaline is, and they're like, you know what? Panic juice doesn't sell. Everyone knows that one is dangerous. So they've started talking about the ones
But
all
it
around
sure does
it. But people
grab
are.
eyeballs.
Yes. Yes.
Panic juice grabs eyeballs. But no one wants to buy that shit.
A lot of what people attribute to dopamine is probably adrenaline.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a meme. Mom, can we have that at home? And it's they're at the store, and the kid says, "Mom, can we get neurotransmitters?" And the ones at the store are oxytocin and dopamine. And mom says, "We've got neurotransmitters at home, and the ones at home are adrenaline and cortisol."
Oh.
So an image wasn't quite worth 1,000 words, but that was a lot of words. It would have been easier to just put the image on the screen, but then what is the show? Just sharing memes. Sure, why not?
I mean, I think it could definitely be an element for sure. I've always wanted to do that. I think good memes
So
are
it's all about
communication.
right. It's all about survival of the fittingest. Like, okay, so you've got inputs and you've got chemistry, and you need to get them to fit together, and whoever gets them to fit together wins. Now, there's multiple pathways of chemistry. And some have these, near, medium, and long-term effects, and some pathways have this near, medium, long-term effect. Most importantly, every single chemical in your body has a purpose. Yeah, cortisol has a job to do. So does cholesterol.
So does cholesterol. I was
They
just about
all
to
have
say
jobs
that.
to do.
So I think statins is one of those big
Murderous.
So
They're literally mass murderous.
So I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but one of the things I realized over this year of creating content is I'm actually very angry that there were a lot of people who were talking about vaccines as far back as the 90s. And I'm going to say it was predominantly women, and it was predominantly mothers who had children that they knew were normal one day and were fucked up the next day. And it's taken 50 years, right? I mean, close to I mean, the real harm started in 86, although it goes way, way back. And I think there's this sense of hurt, especially in America, probably globally, that there's a reckoning coming, and we have a real opportunity with people who more fully understand the landscape to actually empathically help people who were hurt. Like, they're very vulnerable now, and I think there's a real opportunity to get more of a message of self-ownership out to those people, because the real whole fucking thing was a fight about consent and informed consent and bodily autonomy and actual fucking physical freedom.
Well, and that's another one of those communist, capitalist, okay, so consent is literally a soul in a different language.
Right, and I mean it in a legal sense. I'm a lawyer, so I'm definitely using it in a legal sense.
It was also about externalities, like sneezing.
So, philosophical agency. Philosophical agency is a soul and also the ability to give consent. Like, when your soul is fully developed, you get to be free. That's the point. That's when you get agency. That's when...
Right, but I think...
when you own shit.
I mean, I know no one's a fan of the term the patriarchy, so if we can come up with a better term to put a pin in both earned and unearned power in some ways. But I feel like...
Well, be specific.
Well, I feel like within the vaccine debate, men flawed on the side of erring to believe the government because of science, and because the people who were saying it, women, were non-serious and didn't understand the science. And that certainly felt like my experience. And it's actually it's frustrating, I think, because we could have avoided, I think, a lot of human harm and death.
Suggesting that on the scale of multiple boosters to all vaccines are poison, that this scale is gendered, and that you're suggesting that the
I would suggest that it was a universal failure. So men failed to protect humanity from an outside threat, and women failed to remember what holds us together. It was, and that's the best part of what fucked up on this. This was just an all-scale fuck up. Everything broke at once.
So what I discovered is there's a lot of power in, if you, as we were talking about accountability. So if you actually go to, so I knew I got inoculated and something happened to my stomach. And since then I've had stomach problems. And at the time, I actually made the connection. This is a memory I lost that I had to regain through sobriety. I remember being like, hey, mom and dad, we went to the friggin' doctor. I got jabbed. Now my stomach doesn't work the way it used to. And they were literally like, the doctor said it can't be that. And that sentiment, fast forward to my mother who passed away this year, she was in such a state towards the end, like full shingles, like she's just getting flu shots all the time. Like they're just in this, like just in it, like in the Medicare, the doctor won't see you. You get like 8 jabs a year and they won't listen. And so she's covered in a rash, right? And it's like bad. And I'm like, what did the doctor say? And she says, the doctor said it must have been some kind of new detergent, laundry detergent. And I'm like, Mom, do you have new laundry detergent? And she's like, no, we've been using the same thing for years. And I'm like, so why do you believe the doctor?
Well, so
like they belie
a stethoscope and a Jedi hood serve the same purpose.
Yes.
You have used a new laundry detergent.
It's amazing though, because that is illustrative of how strong the mind control is of scientism. So here was an interesting observation. You don't actually see the mad scientist as a trope. Used to be huge. Cartoons, villains, all of that. All of that, somewhere when Big Pharma kicked in a serious way, that whole thing got suppressed too.
I think the mad scientist got more and more counterculture after the 50s. Like that was the point where they're like, "Oh shit, no, we're going to stop publishing a lot of every now and again, mad scientist." But
they
just
did a
became
lot of
more
mad
and more
scientists, but it wasn't a person; it's a corporation, right? It's big pharma, right?
And that's really the ultimate issue that we're dealing with. Like humans are used to replacing leaders. We're completely unaccustomed to replacing rituals. Like what the protocols that we're doing, what systems we're actually feeding into. Well, no, I'm feeding into the exact same systems that they've been feeding into.
So we should just declare a post-politics world and then just like make it happen. Like we should just call it, we should just be like, politics is over, post-politics world.
I find it problematic that
people if we don't, the market will do it for us.
To politicians as leaders when they're supposed to be representatives, and it's not pedantic, it's fucking important, language matters. I call on everyone to stop referring to these assholes as leaders and always refer to them as representatives who are.
I retain my right to use sarcasm at any time.
Or misrepresentatives.
and there you go.
And that's a more blatant way to use the sarcasm.
Because you know how sometimes the people will call someone like Ron Paul a statesman, right? And I've always kind of liked that term if you're going to have any of those things, because if you do certain jobs, like even the drop-down menus on a social media account might be like, it literally the only thing you could select for my Senate page was politician. And I was like, I actually went and I think I made a community. But
so I think I've seen 2 statesmen in my life. Ron Paul and Thomas Massey.
Yes.
Now he's currently engaged in politics, and one never knows really until they leave, and then we find out where the skeletons are buried.
Interesting to see what this little fight with Trump.
I think he's actually like, oh, fuck you guys. No, fuck you guys.
I think he's popular in his district, but I was going to make a business
We had a
card.
very simple agreement. I literally had it in my pocket. We're supposed to do that. What the hell is all of this?
So I wanted to make a business card that said anti-statesman because I thought that was very clever. But then I was like, oh, you don't want to actually present yourself as anti something, right? Like, I think that's an important mindset thing as well, is you want to be for things, you know, you want to, and this is going to be an unpopular bomb here, but I've sort of come to the conclusion, I think libertarianism is a victimhood mentality, and I think it is bad for us.
Proof positive. No, absolutely. So there was a moment where libertarianism was winning. We had absolutely no idea what to do with it.
Well, we freed Ross, so I did everything with my human capital
did
that I've
free
spent
Ross,
with the
which-
last 12 years, so I'm fucking happy. I can walk away. My vision, my manifestation, the picture I had in my head was Ross Ulbricht will walk at PorcFest, and I feel I did that tits to tail, and I'm quite happy about it. Now I got to find new shit. Free Ian. I mean, we should give a shout out. Everyone should sign his petition. These Samurai
Amen.
Wallet guys, I don't know their whole story yet, but we should start talking about them.
I think his last name is Rodriguez.
Well, there are two of them.
Roger.
Roger is freed at a cost, which is
Roger
bullshit,
Ver,
but
yeah.
Oh, what I mean.
honestly, the best outcome I could reasonably hope in the level of injustice of our system right now.
What was the deal?
He paid a lot more than he probably should have, but
I
he's
think it's
All right.
30 million or 42 million, like a lot. But also,
must have
I
missed
think
the
he
news cycle
has
that
a
week.
lot. He has to stay still. It's a provisional sentence, and he has to, I believe, still stay on the island for 1 year. So he paid them like several tens of millions of dollars, 1 more year of house arrest, and then he's a free man until they need to cash a few more checks, I suppose. I mean, it's like extortion, right? Like, it's like, oh, we're going to come shake you down.
So you remember Emily's comparison of like, well, so when the mafia tells you that they're providing you protection, they do actually provide you protection.
Yeah.
And when they shake you down, they actually don't break your shit first and then make you fill out paperwork.
There's a guy, Keon Rodriguez,
There we go.
American software developer and co-founder of the Samurai Wallet, a Bitcoin wallet designed to enhance transaction privacy for Bitcoin users. Arrested, later pled guilty to operating an unlicensed money transmitting
That's what
business.
they
for
got
creating
Ian
and
for,
transmitting
too,
information.
right? I mean, it's ridiculous. You didn't have the right paperwork.
And they didn't even, they just wrote the code.
It is a very strong free speech argument. It is literally just code.
In December 2025, President Trump indicated that he would look at Rodriguez's case and potentially issue a pardon to him.
So here's some insider baseball. I'm in a little secret group. Yes. So we are. There is a reason for the we this time. To sometimes you're obscuring. There's always a reason. There's
Part
a
of
group
the promise
people
was to be your
and-
own bank, right? So they went, oh, well, if you're your own bank, you didn't get a license for being a bank now, did you?
I mean, it's just the whole thing is really stupid. I think
You
this-
were supposed to pay all the fees of Wells Fargo, you was.
I think if Trump's smart, this would be the play. He's going to wait until soon before the midterms, and then he is going to let those guys and possibly Ian out in return for what he hopes is a bump from the libertarian vote. And
For Vance?
yeah. because I don't think he could, like, yeah, for his third term. Didn't he float that? I think he did.
He hasn't got it. He hasn't got it.
So what I have to say about the election is,
Well, no, but here's the thing. We got, so the reality of life is we got Ross Ulbricht out of prison because of Trump. And politics
that was literally
is a game
impossible
of
in
quid
any
pro
other
quo.
way because that is the labyrinth that they put us into.
I mean, he literally, his appeal to the Supreme Court, for which I think, like, we filed an amicus brief, like, they turned it down. So he was literally
So they
facing
literally told you that
life
you are not a
sentences.
friend of the court. It's like, hey, excuse me, I'm a friend. I want to tell you that here's some facts. And they're like, you're not really an amicus, are you? How dare you claim to be a friend of the court?
Contempt.
Well, I mean,
Be careful. If we look too closely, then we might find that you're contemptuous of us. And it's like, oh, shit.
yes.
I have to go to court from time to time. It's like, at any time, you could honestly accuse me of contempt. And it's like, well,
So
I can prove honestly that you had
What would you
contempt of me
replace-
long before I had contempt of you. So
now that we're building a voluntarist society, one sees that, I mean, I often laugh because I'm like, oh my God, how many rules are we going to write down? I'm not a fan of rules. In the 18 years I've been here, I think I've written one policy. And
any real fan of philosophy figures out pretty quick that like negative rights are a lot better.
right.
Yeah, the whole not fucking with each other helps us get along.
But we actually do need some kind of legal court.
We do need a
system.
culture which defines what fucking with each other is.
Look, I floated this to two good friends tonight, and we couldn't even agree on this. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with no.
Okay.
This crew
So
is
getting
impossible.
libertarians to agree verbally is one thing, but getting libertarians to agree in the way that matters is actually pretty easy. Just like
I literally just wanted to put
children
the
are
toy
literally born going, excuse me, is there actually a toy in that box, or is there a ghost of a toy in that box? Like, we're actually born with a certain amount of logic. And that has to be trained out of us. Or not.
Are we born with logic?
Literally. It is in every part of us and has to be folded in on itself to give an exception for certain people with certain rights. Instead of
No, that's not actually where the problem lies. The problem lies with codification. And so the real issue, I believe, is we are writing too many dumb things down.
It's who codifies. Well, if they can codify and we can't codify, then we get immense injustice all of the time.
Well, yes, okay, codification specifically in the legal regulatory sense, fine.
Well, no,
I also
on
think
every level.
we are writing
if
too many
they
things
can do this
down.
and we can't do this, then they're attacking us.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't really buy into the whole, and people have said, I mean, it can be delusional. I just really choose my own mindsets, and I don't see the value in picking the government, the largest, most corrupt, immoral institution in the world, to be my enemy. I have no interest in them. I am here to build out my life and to figure out how to do things. I think we would need a court here too,
making peace with the government. There's a line from a movie, I'm not even sure if I've seen it, but it's, you don't kill me, you buy me. Now, you've been in politics, and look, this has been actually my biggest fucking complaint until recently when we're killing the banks. That, well, you buy politicians.
We're
That's how
not
it
killing
works.
the banks. If you understand anything about history, the fucking Roman Empire is still doing fine. The Vatican is doing fine. Every single institution that was created has created many, many rich people. We are creating abundance. It's very slow. Yes, it's unfair. More people live. And really, the reality is it doesn't fucking matter. All that matters is who you're dealing with in front of you and how well you're taking care of your own
And the more that we
unit.
can distribute that power so that it circulates to the productive, and that's the in and out of it, right? Like distribute value,
What is
and then
power?
it circulates to those who are doing the cool stuff. Ultimately, it's attention.
I think that was Deadwood. You don't kill me, you buy me.
Thank you. I appreciate knowing the reference because there's some genuine wisdom in it. You don't kill me, you buy me. And ultimately, the thing that has pissed me off about our politicians, I've watched the corporations own them my entire life and really pisses me off. But it's a new era and assets are literally available to people who have literally no digital identity in a continent that I can barely name properly.
The bribery, corruption, inefficiency are about equally as offensive as the taxation. Like you can just spread it all around.
Right.
So what I'm hearing is either a tax revolt or, and I made this suggestion a good 12 years ago, everyone, actually when they did the bailouts, so 2008, right? 12, I forget, the bank bailouts, everyone should pay their federal taxes with a bank credit card that took a bailout and then default on your card. And then the allies can sort that mess out. But honestly, there are a lot of influencers who are just calling for
Well, I'll tell you what.
tax revolt.
Let's start it pulling our Monero off of exchanges at the same time, and we'll work our way up to that.
So it is very, very, very difficult to get people to do unilateral actions. I also explained this to Angela McArdle with the Ross Ulbricht stuff, that that was 12 years of work that culminated in everyone doing one thing together at the right time, which doesn't often happen with all our people. I think it would be much more...
I mean, you figured out that tuna is how you herd cats.
Yes.
And then they got used to tuna, so try again next time.
Yeah, sometimes you have to leave the lid on with the sharp edges, you know.
Well, they are cats.
Yeah.
So getting people who believe in independence to work together is, I mean, it's like seeing a unicorn or
but it's
an
not.
equator northern lights. It's crazy.
It's so I don't think it is as hard as people think it is. I think we make it hard because of our ego imbalances. I think everyone should read Carnegie's How to Make Friends and Influence People. We should do that as a book club thing next year. It's actually
I think we should do that as a broadcast.
Let's do it. Yeah. I mean, I haven't read it in decades. Wow.
I've got a copy. I've been meaning to get around to it.
Okay.
So this, I think I may have skimmed it, but most of this will be first impression.
And because, you know, you're talking about values and sort of virtues and a shared way to come to the table. So I do think, you know, figuring out what those few things could be would be helpful, right? So that if people are like, hey, I met a free stater, it definitively means something. Even if it just means honor amongst thieves. I don't know.
And that's why I would also like to talk about the Carnegie Foundation while we do this.
Yeah, because, So yes, and understood. I am
Look,
fully
as
familiar
Americans,
with
we
the
should start figuring out how to talk about foundations and what do they call them? Non-government organizations, which seem to be very government. There's a particular word for a public-private partnership. Oof, sends shivers down my
That
spine.
is not good. We'll see.
Oh, you mean like where you compel customers? Prison systems in our country, for example. Yeah, it turns out every time that you compel customers, it fucks up the market.
So
And that fucks everything up.
I have a question. Is the word faggotry?
Am I blindfolded?
Wait, I don't understand.
Well,
Look at
you
the screen.
move.
Look at me on the
so
screen.
let me move here, and then you move this way so that you're this side.
You came and put it directly.
Well,
Oh, I'm
because
sorry.
you wanted it in front of.
I was trying to optimize for audio
No.
quality.
I think it's
So why don't you move? No,
do
he's.
that, and then
So I'll just say as a technical matter.
this would actually be better mounted on that side for the way we're sitting, but
Well, I still think maybe
So-
it's
so-
just we actually have to lean in and talk on the mic when we're talking.
Gotta lean in like
yes.
MSNBC. Just lean in.
You got to be like you're on NPR. You got to
Right,
use
Since we're
the
going
mic.
to talk tech, I
No,
would
no,
just
no.
like to say how much I appreciate the sleeve.
No, I understand that, but then I will hog the mic. So you
So-
should take the mic.
alrighty,
I'll
hog the mic.
I just have a quick technical point to make is that in order to reduce noise, right, there's a feature called a noise gate on the microphones. And so if the microphone is not picking up a certain threshold of sound, it will mute you. So if you're like really far away, it doesn't gradually just get softer and softer. At some
Okay.
point, it just falls off.
It
a
just
cliff
falls
and
off.
it's- Right.
But,
So
So
that,
you got to talk more.
The end.
right. So
Hello.
that's why I was moving the microphone closer. But
Copy
anyway,
that.
so at the point that I was going to make to Lee is you were talking about a public-private partnership.
One of the worst ideas
Right.
ever conceived
So-
by humanity.
I think that's called faggotry, right? Because
Ooh,
you have this
fascism burn. I like it.
bundle of sticks. Do you understand?
I mean, fun fact,
You know the fascia.
fascists are really faggots with an
Fascia.
axe.
Yes, precisely.
In
Like
my
in the-
experience, usually to grind.
And they had the video that got leaked from the Senate chamber. You, I
Oh
can't-
no!
Yeah,
Is
I
our
can't-
Congress going to get entertaining like the Brits?
I can't I can't put it on the live stream, but there was a video that got leaked from from inside the Senate of two individuals having intercourse, two males having intercourse in the Senate.
Years ago.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
right. So, but it fits because they have those fascia, the bundle of sticks on the wall engraved. That's all.
Gotcha.
I have no
I am
further point.
so lost right now.
The fascia. Oh, wait. Maybe I can do. Oh, okay. Nice. Oh no. Okay, wait. I'm gonna fix it.
You're
Right.
about.
I see
to
Alex
understand.
is looking at this production as an editable one.
Haha.
Yes, we are. We are
There it is.
experimenting.
Yes. Okay. So we got that, and then
That's what you offer as an extra.
yeah. So you see the images here.
Yes.
So the idea was that you were dispensing justice. So you were either going to get beaten or you were going to get beaten and beheaded. And that's Roman rule. And they were the merciful ones because they would just bring clubs sometimes. Fun fact, they never had a universal law against murder. It was really like, wait, whose human are you? And that, deep down, is why fuck Rome. Fuck Rome. Rome infected England, and England has wielded an unknown amount of power. And to be fair, so have the Dutch.
And also fuck the Pope.
And you know, they're not called Roman Catholics for nothing. The bishop at Rome. I mean, the free people were out in the woods at the time. And it turns out when you don't pay them, that's when the empire collapses. Right, because we didn't give a shit about any of that. That's ridiculous. We like running around in the woods and like being healthy and doing stuff.
Shout out Sinead O'Connor.
Yes.
Cue us up.
Yeah.
No.
What? No. Oh. No, I don't want to give her a copyright strike.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, and this is like one of the most mind-blowing things in reality is the hippies and the rednecks are actually on the same right wavelength. Sunsets are real good. Mm-hmm. Sure are. Like to smoke pot. I like to drink Budweiser. Well, not so much anymore.
Alcohol sales, by the way, according to restaurateurs I know, are down about 40%. And I was like, wow.
Now that.
Sorry. Okay, well, I was going to move it.
That is an economic indicator.
Okay.
So it's I find it funny the way that the microphone is going back and forth between you two is like a married couple with the blanket on the bed and they're turning over.
No, it's mine. All right, so honestly, I'm gonna run out of steam pretty soon. This is like a late night for me, and I kind of feel like none of us know what we're talking about anymore. Are you guys just gonna keep going? Maybe.
That was a good test.
I think this was great. Like I think figuring out things, the camera angles, where we should sit, things like the bar going over. Oh, sorry, honey, someone's face. But I mean, all the tech stuff works, and we can figure out how to stream to not these late night ones to like the FSP account maybe too, and use some other restream software and build an empire. A Roman Empire.
A post-Roman Empire.
Post-political Roman Empire. No, we're not building any of that. Poor Alex's face. The
thing that made the empire successful is that it enabled safe markets. Now, yeah, it also suppressed a bunch of, safe markets, but they were diffuse and not connected.
All right, and I'm happy to have that conversation somewhere else. I'm going to log off for me personally. So for everyone who did ride along on this crazy one, or if we make clips later, I wish everyone peace, love, and understanding, and a really happy, merry, beautiful 2026. Peace out.
I will say Ross is free.
He's freer than he was.
I mean, by comparison, if that's not free, I don't know what you call it.
Freedom's not binary.
Right, but if that isn't a shift along the spectrum of freedom.
Oh yeah, it was a big improvement for sure. Absolutely. All right, then. Seek to understand, not to be understood.
Amen to that.